All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with part two with actor Damian T. Raven from Zane's The Jump Off and Sex Chronicles. And he was also on the DL Chronicles as well too. Hi, LaShawn Robinson. Make sure you guys have your questions ready. We are going to conclude. This is part two with Damian T. Raven. This was such an amazing discussion, an amazing interview. I'm super duper excited and honored to be doing this interview with Damian. All right, so I'm going ahead and send him a... There we go. Hey, Terrence. Make sure you guys share this live, share this live, share this live. Let everybody know that I'm back. 6 p.m. I will be going live with Troy from Chasing Atlanta. So it's almost 5 o'clock right now. 6 p.m. I will be going live with Troy from Chasing Atlanta. And I will also be doing my unboxing. So yes, Shop M Cosmetics and Blue Haze sent me some things. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm going to be doing an unboxing. Hey, Sierra. Looking fabulous. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to be doing an unboxing. I got my package today. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing at 6 p.m. with my guest co-host. All right, and my special guest is back, ladies and gentlemen. Damian. Make sure you guys go and check out Sierra.
Hello.
All right, we're back with our special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Damian T. Raven. Do you guys have any questions? If you have any questions, you can type them in the comment section or you can go in the comment box. We were talking about the importance of staying in tune. You also made a point because, you know, children believe in Santa Claus at a young age and they believe in the tooth fairy and so many of these mythical things. And it's just like as a parent, when they grow older, you have to tell them, you know, Santa Claus is not real, sweetheart. Or the tooth fairy is not real. At a certain period of time, they kind of grow out of this. So it's kind of difficult. And then it's just like, okay, now it's serious. This is real. This is reality. So my next question to you as well, too, because this is about the babies right now. So you said your oldest son is 29. So what if your daughter comes to you one day and says, okay, Dad, I want to become an actress. What would you do to make sure that she's properly trained? Because I know a lot of people have like superstars, sons and daughters out here. So what advice would you give to them if they decide to go in this direction that you're in?
It's funny because my son did. He's a rap artist and he's very, very, he's a very profound type of rap artist, and he writes a lot of poetry. But he parlayed that into a career now where he's going into personal training and fitness training for people, and working with an old actor friend of mine in that genre. And when he got into and he actually got to the point where he opened one night for the Wu-Tang Clan. So he got to a point where he was killing it. But he had to take a step back from that. And now my daughter, being 6 years old, she already has an interest in it. And so what I've done with her is I've put her in a theater class that she does online. And whatever she wants to do as far as her if she wants to take singing or dancing, whatever lessons she wants to do, I just encourage her to do it as long as she has joy in doing it. And so when she has auditions or things like that, I always ask her if she wants to do the audition or if she'd rather not. And I give her the choice because she has to want to do it. You know, for a lot of people, I think what gives people the staying power in this industry is when they're doing it because they really love acting. Because like I said, some people can step off the bus and be famous. And then some of us, we're here and we spend our life in pursuit of this goal and this dream and working and doing what we love. And we take parts for no money, and we take parts for lots of money, and then we take parts for some money, and then we do projects just for friends because, you know, just because we love doing it. So if you're going to get into this business, then you have to love it. And so that I would give them the same advice I would give anybody else. It is not for the faint of heart. So because you suffer a lot of rejection in this world. You know, you could walk in a room and be fantastic and then not get picked because you've been to some degree rejected because you did not get that role. So you think about going out for a couple hundred auditions a year, you know, and then being maybe getting one, maybe getting none. The rejection factor is huge. So you have to love it because when you love it, the rejection doesn't deter you. It just drives you.
Yes, and I agree with that 100%. I remember I did an interview with Dawn Robinson of In Vogue. She's a close friend of mine, and she was saying the same thing as well too. And I interviewed Ben Patterson, who's also an actor. He did Greenleaf on OWN,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying the same thing as well too, as well as rejection. You know, in this business, you're going to have people that are going to make you or they're going to break you. And the thing is, what are you going to offer that sets you aside and makes you different from other actresses out here, like, or a Regina King or a Viola Davis or a Denzel or a Sidney Poitier? Like, what are you going to do that makes you different? Like, more importantly, it's about originality, because I've seen people get so caught up in this business. And I'm about to say something controversial. Y'all don't kill me, don't kill me. But I've seen people who allow the fame to get to them, and we see what happened. You become Tamar Braxton, or you become Nene Leakes. You become anybody who's done got caught up in the fame and the glamour and the glitz of everything, that they forget where they are, and wholeheartedly they forget their originality. So when you get in this business, never forget where you came from and the people that have helped you get to where you're at, to this point of
Yes.
life. And more importantly, V Brown, actor, singer, rejection hurts, yes, but it builds you up and it makes you, you know, you got to be able to take sharp criticism. And trust me, I took
Yeah.
some, you know, I've always smiled when I meet somebody. Like, it was a dream come true to meet one of my favorite actors today. And it's just been a great week for me all week long. Like, everything is just, God is just opening so many doors for me. And I'm happy. As you guys can see, I'm over here just beaming, glowing. But there's a method to it, though. I've had some doors closed in my face. I've had people tell me no. I've had people reject me and say, oh, well, no, I don't want to do this, because I guess people are going to think a certain way about you. And that's the thing. You can't go into this business not worrying about what people are going to think about you. You have to have the backbone and the strength, because there's going to be some directors out there like a Quentin Tarantino or Ava DuVernay that are going to critique your work and say, you know what? I think you're an amazing actress, or I think you're doing horrible. You need to do this right. You need to go back and correct it. Especially Tyler Perry. Like, you're going to have some big name film producers and directors that are going to be out here critiquing your work. And even my girl in the comments, M Cosmetics, she knows me and her have conversations. One of my good girlfriends. And I've known her for 3 years. So shout outs to her. And she's giving me advice behind the scenes, like, girl, you need to do this. If you want to make your brand be better, you got to do this. And trust me, I'm happy with everything and where I'm at to be able to speak with you. Because like I said, you were one of my favorite actors. You and
Thank you.
Eamon Joseph and Chadwick, and it's so many actors, and Jay Ellis from Insecure. Like, it's so many, just to name a few right off the top of my head. But what makes you guys unique is that you guys have your own individuality, and that you've never forgot where you came from. But like I said, some people get so caught up in this business, like a Nene Leakes or a Tamar Braxton, and I love them. And what happens is that some of these women that are in the industry, like a Tamar Braxton or a Nene Leakes, they get so caught up in the fame, the glitz, the glamour. They see all of these things, and they lose it. They lose sight of who you are. When you get into this business, you cannot lose sight of who you are. Just don't forget where you are and remain humble. So what piece of advice would you give to people out here? Because we've seen what happened with people who get fame. They spiral down this road and it goes to nowhere.
I think it has a lot to do with what you said. You have to remember where you came from, and you have to keep those people who are honest and true to you. Your loved ones, those people who don't care if you're successful or not. Those people that will always be there for you, you got to keep them around you, because they're the ones that are going to keep you grounded in your life and keep you knowing who you truly are. And again, if you're doing this, if you're living as an actor, as an artist, as an entertainer, and you're doing that and you're successful, the gratitude alone should be enough to keep you humble. Because you got to know that doing this kind of thing is such a gift. And if you are worthy of receiving it, you should treat it as such. So when you're given a gift of value, you don't mistreat it, you don't disrespect it, you don't toss it around, you don't disregard it, you cherish it. And so I cherish the gift of being an actor. I cherish everything that was given to me, from the times, like for years, my acting coach teaching me for free when I couldn't afford it, the time that I spent on set with the people when I was going through things in my true life that were there for me. I mean, all of these things that accumulate in your world around you, the gratitude for those things just keeps bringing more of that goodness. And so I think that it's important to show gratitude for your work. And I think some of the people that get to that point where they become too much and start thinking that they're better than everybody forgot to be grateful for it, because it can easily be taken away, as we've all seen. You know, nothing is promised. Tomorrow is not promised. This is not promised. Sustainability in this industry is not promised. So the only thing that you can promise is to be who you are.
And I like to live my life by one of my favorite quotes from the great Maya Angelou. And she says this: we encounter many defeats, but we must never be defeated. Never. And I like to live my life through that. I'm a Scorpio. So one thing about Scorpios is we're very passionate. We're very intense about whatever it is that we do. So if I put a project out here or whatever it is, I'm going to make sure that my actors, or wherever, my actors, my actresses, hair, makeup, the team, everything, production, everything is put together. And what people fail to realize in this industry, I did an interview yesterday with Rico Chappelle. Look at me, dropping names again. Yes. I've had a very great week. It's been a blessing each week for me. And Rico was saying this: people are wanting things. People are wanting things in regards to his fashion. I'm going to use this as an example. People are wanting some of his fashions, but they're not willing to pay full price for it. And the thing is, if you want something, you got to invest into it. If you want a career in acting, you have to be willing to invest into it. Like there's film schools out here. I went to beauty school, as y'all can see in the background, the hair stuff. Yes, I went to beauty school, and I have a confession to make. I'm a confessor to Damian because he's one of my favorite actors. So I failed my cosmetology exam the first time. And I remember crying all the way back to the school. And my father was like, oh no, $200? You going back to that class and you're going to take that test if I have to come and drag you myself. And I went back and I took it and I passed it with flying colors. And my girlfriend that was also in the class with me, my friend, I felt bad for her. I had to go and console her. She failed the test, so it was the complete opposite. And I had to go and give her the pep talk, the same pep talk that my father and my mom gave me, because I love hair and makeup. I love fashion. I'm a woman, so why wouldn't I love these things? But yes, I took the test over again because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do something and that I could make something to myself. And that's the thing with young people. They just figure, oh, well, this is it. This is life, you know. It is what it is. We're so quick to give up. But young people out here are like, I'm not young. I'm 26. I am. So I try to live life vicariously through everybody that looks up to me for inspiration. And I try to give them the motivation to keep going. More importantly, be persistent. I've had a lot of no's, which is what we just discussed a few minutes ago. Rejection. You're going to have rejection in this industry. And I've heard, I think it was Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks said, you know, she's went to go-sees. You know, she wanted to, at the time she was becoming a model. She's went to go-sees. And people have turned her away and say, no, you're not what we're looking for. You're too thin. You're too tall. Even in the modeling industry. And yes, M Cosmetics, you cannot give up. You have to keep pushing and shooting for the stars. And that's one thing about me. Like, I've heard people just say, oh, I just want to give it up. I just, you got all the success. Even people who are successful say, even when it comes over, it gets overwhelming for them. I'm saying, God, I wish I was you. I wish I was you. I wish I could be in your position,
Right.
to have that much success that you have. I don't care about the fans, but I just care about what I do. I'm passionate about my work. I love
Yeah.
fashion. I love to read. I love to write. I love talking to people. Like, we're establishing great dialogue right now.
Yes.
So that would be my advice to people out here. But this item took up way too much of the interview. So I'm
It's
pretty sure that
okay.
Damian can attest to this. So any thoughts? What do you think about that? Because there's so many young people out here who, and more importantly, stay in school. Stay in
Yes.
school. Stay in school.
Read as much as you can. Read things that you enjoy. Read things that enlighten you. And when I first got here, I met with a really prominent manager for acting. And the first thing he told me after I did my read, that I was an incredible actor, but I wasn't good looking enough to be on soaps. And so that was one of the biggest knocks to me, and it killed me. I remember leaving there, and almost as I was getting down the hill and getting into my car, I remember sitting in there and saying, "What the fuck did he just say to me?" And thinking to myself, why would somebody say that to somebody else? I mean, and from that moment, I understood that this was not going to be an easy venture, but I was not going to be detoured by something like that. So if that was the way that he felt, that was fine. That was his opinion. But I knew that I was going to get myself to where I needed to be, regardless of that. So every failure, every rejection is just another, what they call it, a feather in the cap. I mean, basically, all you're doing is accumulating momentum. So think about all of the rejection and failure every single time you try. All that rejection, all that failure is just you rolling down this hill and this snowball. You're just getting bigger and bigger and more powerful each time. Because each time you endure that, you're going to get better as a person, and you're going to get better at whatever it is that you're doing. And that's the main thing. You got to take it and use it as a way of getting better. And that's the advice that I could give.
My girlfriend says, wait, what? Yes. And to that person who said that, oh, well, you're not attractive enough. Well, baby, look at that lineup for the jump off. Like, when I seen all of these fine brothers and black men, that would have shown him right there. I would have showed him that picture, like, look at me now. That fact you kept going is motivating. Yeah, and I've mentioned Chadwick, and my girl, Live Love Fashion DC, she said the same thing too. When people think about giving up, think of Chadwick, because we never knew Chadwick was going through all of these things. Like, while he was filming Black Panther, we never knew he was going through all of these things. His passion
Yeah.
and his drive is what I loved about him the most.
Yes.
Even filming James Brown, you're playing 42, all of these historical characters that are predominant in Black history. And we would have never thought that he had all of these things going on. Never.
No, and one of the most beautiful things to me about his life is the fact that he got to step into the skin of all these incredible human beings, and he got to live their lives for that brief moment of time and share it with all of us. And then ultimately, he gave us a Black superhero that will never be tarnished. You can never tarnish what he's done with Black Panther. And his leaving us so soon made that a definitive thing, because that saying that, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain to someone. So he died a hero, and he left this heroic wake, and I'm excited to see what it's going to do to the future generation, because you and I both know there are a lot of little kids and adults out there right now whose life is all inspired by Chadwick, and they're making changes in their life. They're doing things, and I have friends who are going in and getting medical checkups that they never thought about doing. They're getting into better shape. They're eating better. I mean, these things, it's going to have a ripple effect. So his death is going to be the savior of a lot of lives, and it's going to be the inspiration for a lot of lives too. I would love if he was still here to keep giving us his talent, but I know that he's here in a way that's going to even show even more. He's going to bring more to the world.
It's I remember just getting the news that day that he passed away, and I think it was one of the news outlets, the Hollywood Life, they posted about it, and I'm just like, wait, is this real? And it was just, I remember just sitting in the room like dumbfounded, like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? It was unreal when they announced his passing. And to so many people, then I seen other people, I think it was Octavia Spencer posted about it, and Taraji P posted about it, and then it just went on. I said, wait, this can't be, this is real. This is what happened.
I thought that, I mean, I'm with you. I did not believe that it happened. It was just because of the fact that it was like, nobody knew anything about it. It wasn't one of those things where you knew he was going through. This incredible act is gone. And I mean, you lose that heroic figure. It's a tough blow.
And my thing is this, we say it all the time, the old adage, give people their flowers while they're here. Don't wait until they're dead and gone and give them their flowers. Give them their flowers while they're here. Call somebody and tell them you love them. And we're in the middle, quarantine, this pandemic, election, like, is winding down to the wire. And you've got people that are going so fast and so soon. We lost so many people to COVID, so many people to so many things. Give people their flowers while they're here right now. Call someone and tell them you love them. Like, I have a story to tell you guys. My cousin was in the hospital and she got her gallbladder taken out. And I had no idea. And I found out through Facebook. I said, I've been a horrible cousin. And I admitted to her and I apologized. And I called her and I said, I'm sorry. And we had a heart-to-heart moment. So we talked about it and I texted her today. I said, just wanted to let you know that you were on my mind and I was thinking about you. That's what we need to be doing right now. We need to be calling our family members, our relatives, our loved ones, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, whomever, and letting them know how much we love them and how much they matter to us. Because it would hurt us if they're dead and gone. And then once they're dead and gone, it's going to take a while for it to settle in. Like my sister passed away back in late August 2018. And that still, for me, is the hardest reality to have to face, with her not being here and driving past her apartment where she used to stay. And she used to cook a lot of big meals. And what she would do is she would fill the entire apartment complex. Like, she would cook these big meals. And she was an excellent cook. She has such a heart. She had a heart of gold. And it's still not sinking in yet that she's gone. So I should have been better with going to visit her and making time. And that's another thing. We got to make time for people that we love. It's all about balancing the time. Don't get so caught up, wrapped up in work. And I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I'm woman enough to admit it. That's why I admitted it and said, let me go call my girl. Let me call my cousin today and find out what's going on with her and how she's feeling and how the rest of the family's doing. And even if you have to go and create group chats with your family, do that. A text chain, do that so that you can keep in touch with each other. Because I know for some of us that are essential workers out here, we're not able to go and hug and kiss our grandmothers and our grandfathers and our grandkids, our nieces, our nephews. Like, we're not able to do that. We have, due to COVID, like, this could be the new norm. And it makes it difficult for people that really want to go out here and spend time with their family. Like, technology is the only way for certain people.
True. And I lost both of my parents 20 years apart, and neither death left me anytime soon. With my mother, I lost her in 97, and I still, there's still times where I feel like I can pick up the phone and call it and wish I could. And, my father I lost 4 years ago, and the same thing, that energy will always be around you, which is the beauty of it all. But you do want to honor those people while they're around. I wrote a poem actually about that, and honoring our heroes before they're gone, because, them hearing just that they're loved by us, that's such an impact. And them not hearing that they're loved by us has such an impact.
Because baby, when they dead and gone, and I remember I had Calvin Michaels, he's also a singer, and I had him as guest co-host back one day too. He said it took him a while, and even for some men out here, like they have this thing, well, I don't want to cry, my mama or my dad. He told me a story. He said his father passed away, and he was trying to act all tough at the funeral and stuff, like he wasn't gonna cry, and then his mom, she was stoic. She was very strong. She was confident in everybody. She didn't really cry about it. But he said when it came to him, when it came for them to put his father to rest up under the ground, bury him and stuff, that's when the tears started to come out. And this is the thing. People have to realize that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to break down and cry. It doesn't make you less of a person. I think it makes you human.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you human.
We admire those people who do that. We admire people who show their vulnerability. So it's a great healing factor. It really is, and it should be utilized. Holding that stuff in doesn't do anybody any good.
Because when I tell you the regret that you will be feeling for not wanting to spend time with this person or not wanting to make time with this person, when I tell you that regret, baby, you are not ready. When you look in the mirror, it's just you and yourself there. And that reflection staring back at you could be right over your shoulder saying, why didn't you call this person today?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you spend time with this person today? Why didn't I acknowledge that this person is human and that I love them and that they are a family member to me? Why didn't I give them their flowers?
Yeah. And everybody's experience is relative to their life, but when I hear those people who are annoyed that their mother keeps calling them or they're annoyed that their father keeps bothering them, I'm just like, one day all you're going to wish for is that annoying phone call.
Uh-huh. Or your sister or your brother. And my brother moved to Charleston, so he's not here with us anymore, and it's just like, wow, that room is empty. It's just me, my mom, and my father. So he's not here. Him and his girlfriend moved out, and I'm just like, okay, did he call? Is he all right? So I be concerned. I'm very concerned. So that's when my, protective instincts start to kick in with everything that's going on with election and everything. It just, especially for a brother or sister, our big sister, little sister, big brother, little brother, our instincts kick in, and we're just like, okay, do I need to go out here and see what's going on? Are they okay? I wish my family would call me. Yes, you got to make time for your family. Yeah. And that's something that people have to realize.
So she can physically fight off anybody. And then at that point, she can go off in the world. So I spend every day training her to be a master in martial arts and yoga.
Yes, and I've seen that. And I've also seen Teddy does it too on his Insta, like him and his wife, he was training her for martial arts and things like that. So it's important to instill the importance of this in your kids. You are an amazing soul. Thanks for all you do. Yes, incredible actor, and I'm honored that I got to spend the time to interview him. Incredible actor, and he said also his daughter is wanting to become an actress. So definitely, she's still a baby, so you have to watch out for her.
Oh.
We paused for a minute.
Yeah, we paused for a second. I got you back.
I am Clinton. There we are. Yes, she's still a baby. So when she grows up and it's time for prom and everything, and it's just like, okay, helicopter dad mode. So what is it going to be like when she grows up?
I don't know. I'm just grateful that I had my son first, Because if it was the other way around and I was a younger father with her, I don't know. I would have been crazy. But I don't know what it's gonna be like. You know, the things are changing so drastically in the world, and I'm sensing a lot of power coming to women in the next decade or so. And so when she starts to come into her womanhood, you know, and she hits that 20s, late teens, 20s, I think the world's going to be a place where she's going to be able to just, I think she'll be the master of her destiny. That's my hope. So I don't know how I'll react at that time. I want to say I'll be cool. I want to say that I won't be the helicopter father who's like, you know, I hope that it's not a world where I have to be that way. But the best I can do is make sure that she's prepared for situations and ready for life, and then allow her to be free. Because the one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to stifle any of her creativity or anything that she wants to do in her life. And I will never tell her that there's anything that she can't do unless it's just, you know, absolutely ridiculous. But I know that whatever she puts her mind to, because like you, she's a little Scorpio, and we call her Miss Determined. So when she's determined to do something, she does not stop until she has completed that task. So I know
That's
she's
right,
going to be all
Scorpio
right.
women.
Yes.
That's part of like changed everyone. Yes, every day when you wake up and it's a new day dawning, everything changes. You know, it's like reset.
True.
And this pandemic for us is like the reset button. I like to create vision boards, and I like to put everything that I would love to accomplish, and hopefully each year, you know, everything that I envision. How you start spicy? Everything that I envision for myself for the year of 2020 is just like been on pause. But you know, you kind of have to regroup and collect your thoughts. And hopefully in 2020, 2021, we have to press that reset button, and we just kind of have to. This is a new month. This is a new year we're going into. So for everybody out there, I know with this pandemic going on, everything that we wanted to do on our vision boards has been put on hold. You've had to regroup and think of other ways, you know, create loopholes and shortcuts for so many different things.
I love that you said that reset, because that's the way that I felt when this all occurred. Was that I felt like it was an opportunity for us to reset our lives and to look at things from a different perspective, and just take the time. Like I had the most incredible time before my wife went back to work. We had the best time just being together. And every day just being able to spend time with nowhere to go, nothing that we had to do except to be together. And it grew our relationship in ways that I can't even express. But it made it so that reset made sense. Like, okay, so we're going to start from here. And I wish that, you know, if we had good leadership, the opportunities that were there for changes in our school system, changes in our police force, changes in how we deal with sick people, with the homeless, so many things could have been done with this opportunity, where the world was on pause, where they could have taken that opportunity and done something great with it. So we decided as a family that we were going to take that opportunity and do something great with it. So,
Has it been difficult for you, you know, not being on set and so many other things? Like I know some shows have gotten back into filming, and they've had to do limitations, you know, with social distancing, cutting down with people on set. Like I know for certain shows, like, okay, what's a good show? Not a reality show. I don't want to say a reality show. But shows like Blackish or, you know, Modern Family, shows like that where they have a lot of production and stuff on set, where they're having to limit how many producers can be on set and how many directors and so many different things and how many hair and makeup people or persons can be on set. Like, has it been difficult for you, you know, not being able to go out and film shows and different things like that? Because I know certain actors are making the best of this pandemic right now, you know, in quarantine, spending time with their family and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely when you love, I mean, I love working, I love acting, so it's definitely been difficult in that aspect, but I have my acting class that I do once a week, which keeps me, enjoying it and focused and doing new scenes. I'm going to be working on a new film at the beginning of the year. I have things to look forward to. And when my wife went back to work, she works on The Masked Singer. So when she went back to work, and we had always had this deal that one of us would always be with our daughter. So if I'm working, she doesn't work. If she's working, I don't work. And if we both have to work, we make it so that we can get together and make it so that one of us is there all the time. So it wasn't a hard transition for us because I also was homeschooling my daughter anyway before this all started. So that was another factor. I always wanted to be able to homeschool her and have her, at least until she gets into high school, so that because I don't want this time to go by so quickly where I'm dropping her off and leaving her for hours in the day. It's not something I wanted to do. So when we decided to have her, that was what we agreed to do. So our lives are kind of set up that way anyway before all of this happened. So we had a little bit of a head start. But I definitely miss filming. I miss working and doing that for sure. But I know it's going to come back at some point. So
It will. We just got to have a little bit of faith. Wait a minute. We got a comment from one of your fans. Love, respect, peace. Other is a beautiful blessing thing. God just wants us to live life. Yes. Like life is too short. Take this time to cherish it with your family. And more importantly, we got to reset. Again, it goes back to what I just said. We got to reset everything that we wanted to do. I have plans of wanting to open a hair salon, but everything has been put on reset. You can't do everything in like a large crowd environment. We've been having to cut back, and we have to make sacrifices for certain things. And speaking of school, I got to do homework with my little one. Much love, Miss Stevie. I'll be back at 6 for the special unboxing, you guys. So with my special guest co-host, and he is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited for today. And I'm happy that I got the opportunity to speak with you. I can't keep you. I wish we could talk for hours and hours, but I know you have to do a few things.
Yes, ma'am. But this was amazing. Thank you so much for having me. This is incredible, and you are incredible. And I'm so glad that you're doing what you're doing. It's pretty amazing. So you keep it up.
Thank you. And it was such an honor to speak with you. Again, I think
Absolutely.
of that scene replaying in my head on the DL Chronicles. So,
Awesome.
yeah, I
You
watched it
honor
over
me.
and over again because I'm just like, what just happened? I had my back turned and I was trying to put on my eyelashes, and all I seen was him. He had his arm twisted. I said, "Oh, what did I miss?" So I had to rewind it. And when I seen it, I hollered, like I screamed so loud. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. Thank you.
again,
That is
thank you
fantastic.
so much for this incredible opportunity to interview you. It was such a
My
pleasure.
pleasure. My pleasure, Miss Stevie. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. And yes, much
Love to
love. Give it
you and
up.
all the fans, everybody out there. I
Yes,
love you. Thank you guys for coming on and listen to me ramble.
it was amazing. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And you guys
Thank
stay
you.
tuned. Keep following Damian. So I definitely would love to bring you back, when you get your projects and stuff.
Absolutely. I will be back.
Take care and you have
You
a
too.
blessed day.
Thank you. You too. Be well.
You too.